What's going on, guys? This is Frank Chen with REIClub.com, your link to creative real estate. Today, I have a quick video for you talking about what you should do as a buyer when your appraisal comes in too high or too low. So let's get right into it. So as a buyer, we're going to be working with lenders and they're going to be doing appraisals. And the reason why is a bank needs to know what they're buying. They need to know that if anybody, in case defaults, they have an asset in place that's going to make their money, at least get their money back. But on the rare occasion, when an appraisal comes in too high or too low, what do we do? Now, again, in most cases, appraisals are going to come in just around a few hundred, if not a $1,000 or $2,000 above or below the list price. Now, that's the most common type of appraisal. But basically, it's not enough to mess up the deal. If it comes in too low, or if it comes in just a little lower, the seller is going to just come down to that price, not to, to stall up the deal. If it comes in high, just a few $100 or $1,000, they're just going to give that equity to the seller and keep it at the list price. Again, not enough to mess up the deal. But on a recent deal of mine, the appraisal came in almost $50,000 lower than the list price. Now, as a buyer, that could be seen as either a good thing or a bad thing. It's good because you could potentially have a lot more negotiating room and get a huge discount on your property. Or it's a bad thing because, one, most sellers aren't prepared to see an appraisal come in significantly lower than their list price. And they're going to most likely try to negotiate a number still above the appraisal, but maybe below the original list price. But the problem with that is your lender is not going to want to pay above the appraised value. So unless your seller is willing to come down to the appraised value, or you're willing to bring more money to the table to make up for the difference, there's a good chance that this deal is going to fall apart. Now, I don't know about you, but not everybody I know has $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 laying around. So that's why these types of deals tend to fall apart. But a good way to kind of assess this, is one, how bad do you really want this deal? If it's one of those fixer-uppers and there's a huge upsides, I still don't know if that's enough to really pull the trigger on this. Are you willing to negotiate and pay a little bit more than the appraised value? I don't know. What's your bottom line, and are you willing to walk away? Because what I'm here to tell you is in most cases, we're going to suggest you not to pay over the appraised value because you will be over leveraging yourself and it's very risky. Just imagine in 5, 10 years when you're trying to resell and you already overpaid the original appraisal, and at that time you get another appraisal done and it's still lower, you essentially are losing out on all the money that comes in that goes over the appraisal that you get. So that's how you end up over leveraging yourself. So don't do that. Now let's talk about when the appraisal comes in much higher than the list price. Now that's an indication that you may have gotten a very good deal. Now, in some cases, the seller may get seller remorse and then do everything in their power to take the property off the market. But once the contract is signed, it's a done deal. You got to make sure it does follow through, and then that equity becomes your equity as the buyer. Now, understand, though, that you can't loan against this potential equity or have all your closing costs wrapped in and covered by this equity, because the LTV, or the loan to value, is based on the lower of the sale price or the appraised value, right? So if your list price is low and the appraisal comes in too high, they're going to go with the list price. If your list price is higher than the appraised value, then they're going to go with the appraised value. That's how it works. But now down the road, when you sell your home, or when you decide you want to refinance the home, that's when you're going to be able to take advantage of this additional equity. So there's definitely a benefit there. So mainly, these are the two ways to approach an appraisal when it comes too high or too low. And the whole purpose of this video is to help my buyers out there not to really understand the situation, not to get, not to panic, because they both work out in your favor in one way or another. In the worst case scenarios, you just need to know when to walk away and not to get peer pressure to pay more than you have to. So with that being said, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Again, this is Frank Chen with REIClub.com. Do me a favor, leave comments below about what you thought about this video, what you guys would like to see in the next few. We're going to be communicating with you guys a lot more and creating more of a community here. We would love to know what you guys are doing in your own investment business. But most importantly, if you haven't already, of course, click the like button because it really does help us out. And if you haven't already, go to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we're going to keep you informed when brand new videos just like this are posted. Now, again, thanks for your time, your continued support. We look forward to talking to you guys next time. Take care, good investing, and bye-bye. What's going on? This is Frank Chen with REIClub.com, your link to creative real estate. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about what happens when the real estate appraisal comes in lower than asking.
Okay. Well, I would expect Eric to be happy about it. Be like, absolutely not. So, you know what I mean?
I want to add something. I want to add one thing.
Yeah, please.
You mentioned the Austin market, which you're familiar with.